What is going on, y'all? Today I want to rap a little bit about Pokemon Unite. Because if you guys haven't heard, people have been a little bit over the edge about the live stream that just happened a few days ago. Now first off, I will say that there's nothing wrong with the Pokemon Company branching out and making more spin-off games, and obviously we've seen that with last week's presentation. For example, we have a game like Pokemon Smile, and I know a lot of us aren't interested in that. But it's nice to see that the Pokemon Company is trying to reach out, and hell, why wouldn't they? They're trying to reach as many audiences as possible to get people to play their stuff. And yeah, Pokemon Cafe Mix does look like another game that is made by the Pokemon Company, another mobile game, but hey, it's nice to just see that they're working on different side projects. But also during last week's presentation, they hyped up, or they just announced, this week's presentation. Obviously, with a week of anticipation, a week of high hopes, people got their theories really high in the sky. There are rumors of a Pokemon Let's Go 2 or Johto version. And obviously the Gen 4 remakes are something that we've been waiting for the past 5 years. And even though those hopes were very high, I have to say that they were quite a bit too high, but I'll get into that a little bit later. My personal biggest issue wasn't exactly the reveal of Pokemon Unite. I think it has a decent place in the Pokemon ecosystem, and while obviously they have a lot of different games for people to interact with Pokemon. Personally, I don't play MOBAs like that, but if I were a Pokemon fan that was interested in some League of Legends but I wasn't really sure about it, maybe that would be the thing that I would try out and see if I liked it. And the same thing goes for people who play stuff like League of Legends or like Dota, and they might have an interest in Pokemon and they're like, hey, I want to try this out or just see what it's about. And all of that is absolutely fine. There is nothing wrong with that game. But the thing that got people upset was that they announced this a whole week earlier, and a lot of Nintendo Directs and a lot of presentations only get announced about 2 or 3 days before they come out. And yes, I understand that a lot of people can be a little bit entitled to think that they are deserved something that they really are not. And yeah, even in hindsight, I mean, it is a game at the end of the day. It's not a terrible game. It's not something that a lot of us really care about. But I guess it was more so just the hype that really let us down. And the question is that really their fault for announcing it a week ahead of time, or is that our fault for speculating so high and thinking that it was going to be a reality? And then I thought to myself, Pokemon Snap got announced last week. What if Pokemon Snap and Pokemon Unite were switched? What if Unite was announced last week in the Direct with everything else, but then they announced Pokemon Snap just this week as the standalone thing? And yeah, I know the trailer itself isn't really that long and it's not really worth the whole presentation itself, but it's just a thought. Because seeing how people are reacting to this new MOBA game in comparison to Pokemon Snap, it is a completely different reaction. But also the thing I thought about was them making a new mainline game. First off, why in the hell would they do that? Pokemon Sword and Shield just had an expansion drop last week. That's the first half of the expansion, with the second half coming this fall. Now, unless Pokemon Company has the balls to announce a Gen 4 remake or to announce Let's Go 2 a year ahead of time, I really don't think that they would release that this fall when they have DLC coming out. The whole point of them releasing this expansion pass is to milk the hell out of Sword and Shield. And if they did have these big main series games coming out at the same time as the Tundra expansion, I promise you they will steamroll this expansion completely. That's also not to mention the fact that Game Freak let them rest. Let them work on the next titles as much as possible. After seeing everything that we have with the debacle with Sword and Shield, I want them to take as much time to make the next game as they possibly can. I want everything to be overhauled. I want them to take full advantage of the Switch. Because if there's any company out here with the money, with the bags, with the stacks to put towards making a very polished, well-made video game that's also a partner company of Nintendo, it's definitely the Pokemon Company, and it definitely needs to be Game Freak. Because I promise you, the next time a main series Pokemon game comes out, their asses will be on the line and people will be paying attention to this with a very, very, very close microscope. But hey, that's just my take on the whole Pokemon Unite outrage, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Were you guys hyped up and enraged by the announcement of a Pokemon League of Legends game? And who do you think is really at fault? Is it really the Pokemon Company, or is it the fans for speculating so much? That's about it for now, and I'll see you guys in the next one.